Well, hello, everybody. Welcome again to another episode of the I Love Shreveport podcast. And listen, today is going to be real informative and exciting all in the same measure, right? Because as you know, NFL season is over, college is over, high school is over, middle school is over, and you're thinking, what are we going to do as it relates to football? Well, today's episode is going to secure your minds as it relates to what Shreveport is going to do with concerning football. Today, we're sitting down with a new team that is in our city, Shreveport, called Team Rouxgaroux. I'm sitting down with one of the owners today, Mr. Keith Carter. Mr. Keith, how are things going in your world today?
Very busy.
I understand.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for allowing us to come here to your office and then, of course, just to have this sit-down conversation because there's some exciting things happening in our city. We're going to jump right into it. First of all, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. How'd you get started in this football business?
So from Shreveport,
okay.
went to Northwood and then went to Northeast or ULM and then to LSU. And then 25 years ago, myself, my wife moved back to Shreveport and started raising our family. So my children went to school here in Shreveport, graduated from Loyola. Both are at LSU now. And I'm just a regular Shreveport guy. And 10 years ago, I've been in the healthcare field for 30 years. But 10 years ago, my dad needed a caregiver, so I found this franchise of Always Best Care. And we provide in-home care and home health care.
Wow.
And for 10 years, I've been doing that. And kids are grown, they're out of the house. And the opportunity came up to be a part of an ownership group to bring arena football to Shreveport, wow. And I jumped on it.
Absolutely. So there's an excitement in the air because, as we mentioned, all the football seasons that we normally watch are done. Now we've got this arena football, and Shreveport has this new team called Team Rouxgaroux, right?
That's right.
So tell us about the history, the name Rouxgaroux. What does it mean? What is it about?
So in arena football's been around for 20, 30 years.
Sure.
And most arena football teams are organically grown. Their ownership is local. Their players may be local, and the majority of our players are around this area, from East Texas, Arkansas, and all across Louisiana.
Absolutely.
So when you identify team names, you find things that are different, and you find color schemes and mascots that are different.
Sure.
So the ownership group very early on said, we want something that distinctively talks about Shreveport and even the Creole Cajun culture of Louisiana.
Absolutely.
So this spelling of Rouxgaroux is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
The Rouxgaroux is a mythical creature, half man, half werewolf, that has been in the Creole culture, the Cajun lore for years,
sure.
And it just turned out to be with all the Saints, LSU,
yeah,
all of our football teams, and how we say go, Geaux.
Absolutely.
One of our owners just in the middle of the night came up and said, let's do Rouxgaroux and spell it with X's. So we actually came up with Go Rouxgaroux, and that's our website, gorouxgaroux.com.
Sure.
And we went with it.
Absolutely.
And here we are today.
Here we are.
About a year later.
So I'm big in football, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I started learning and we started getting into this thing called 7-on-7 football,
Mm-hmm.
which was when I went our first year several years ago, we found out that it was totally different from what we understood football to be, what we watched on TV, what my son plays, all of that. And so now we're here, we've got arena football. How much different is arena football than regular football for those that may be watching and saying, hey, what is this arena football about?
So I'm not the football guy.
Okay.
I love football. I played in high school.
Okay.
What's great about this opportunity is that my owners and my coaches, our head coach played for the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
Coach Hampton. And the difference in this 8-on-8 arena football is there's the same dimensions as the hockey field.
Okay.
So we actually put our turf on the Mudbugs ice. We put a foam and we put our turf on top of the ice while the Mudbugs still are playing.
Wow.
So it takes about a day to turn that over. But if you can imagine, the glass comes down from the hockey field, and then we put turf from sideline to sideline. So this is 8-on-8 arena football. There is no out of bounds. You hit the siding, you're in the end. The end zones are turned just like the end of the hockey field, the hockey arena. And we have boxes that are right on the sideline. You're going to be on the sideline with our VIP suites, and then you're right in the action. If you can imagine that an NFL field being 100 yards, but there's 50 yards of sideline before you get to the stands.
Absolutely.
There's 4 inches of sidelines between the players playing on the field and the actual booths and the sidelines. So it's high action, high impact. So if you can imagine, this is 8-on-8 football. You have 3 down linemen, a quarterback, 3 wideouts, and a running back. Okay.
Wow.
So this is very, very action oriented. It's high scoring. It's very fast players. You can there's motion that you've never seen before that you can't do in the NFL.
I do remember. Yes.
Yep. And so if you take the concept of a 7-on-7, which is just pass plays, right, and you mix it with the NFL, you get arena football or indoor football. So here's the advantage of this. It's in the springtime. It's after the hockey season. So we take over from the Mudbugs all of their operations and management. We put the turf on the ice. It's the same experience. But we don't have to keep it as cold. But we're out of the elements of the NFL. So backstory is when this started coming into Shreveport, I wanted somewhere to be my patients, that I could have my patients go out to. Love the Independence Bowl, but it's usually cold. It's December.
Absolutely.
And, hockey is kind of cold too.
Yes.
And as great as our hockey support is, and there's thousands of people that go to the Mudbugs, our older population that are my patients don't understand hockey.
Yes.
So if you can actually take the indoor experience, climate controlled, and you put that with football, it was a slam dunk for me, for my patients. And then I fell in love with arena football, the team, the players, the coaches, and the entire thing that we're giving back to the community. So there's the long answer for you on that.
Absolutely. I think I remember one guy in arena football that I remember, Quincy Carter.
Yep.
I believe he played arena football as well.
He did.
And, of course, he played for the team that I love, the Dallas Cowboys.
The Dallas Cowboys. And actually, fun fact for you, he was number 17 and with the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely.
And his last name is Carter, and I do have that jersey, and I do wear that jersey.
Because your last name is Carter.
My last name is Carter, so fun fact for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with this arena football, right, what is one thing, if you can pick one thing out, why our citizens, why people would want to come to watch this arena football, what would that be? So
our schedule starts in February and runs March, April, and May. So this is spring. It's spring in Shreveport. It's crawfish season. We're starting our season the week after Mardi Gras. We're going to have our home games on Saturday night at Hirsch Coliseum.
Wow.
It's at 7 o'clock. We're going to have tailgate starters at 4 o'clock. We're going to have an opportunity for the entire community, Shreveport, Bossier, the Arklatex, to come out to Hirsch and do the exact same thing that we were doing for the Mudbugs through the wintertime, through the state fair. But we're going to have crawfish boils. We're going to have tailgates. We're going to have football. It's going to be family fun. It's going to be a great atmosphere. It's going to be a safe atmosphere. Wow. And we want more people to come to Shreveport. Come spend the weekend. Absolutely. Come get a hotel room. We've got plenty of entertainment, adult and family entertainment. And we want to put you at the Hirsch and have a great time on Saturday night. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. Now, here's the question. You mentioned Mudbugs. Will that be a part of the concession buy?
So explain that.
So will people, when they go to concessions, can they get crawfish and things like that to eat while they're watching?
Yes. So we're actually working with some vendors to come out to the tailgate to do a crawfish boil.
Absolutely.
And then they've got like crawfish boudin, and they're doing some other things in the vendor booth All of our vendors that we've had with the mud bugs are continuing.
Sure.
So we're going to have the roasted peanuts, we're going to have the hot dogs, we're going to have the nachos, the pulled pork nachos, all those things. And then because it's crawfish season, we're going to have the ability to have those specialized vendors there too.
Absolutely. Wow. It already sounds amazing to me already, right? So thinking about the players and things, how does recruiting and signing your players work for Arena Football and for you, the Team Rouxgaroux?
So we are part of the National Arena League, which is the national league. It's based out of Omaha, and it's a wonderful league, and that's really what intrigued me about it, because the league is set up like the NFL. All of our 9 teams that are in the NAL are part owner of the league. So we sit on the board of directors.
Wow. Okay.
So everyone wins, right? Sure. So I as a part owner of the Rouxgaroux, being a part owner of the NAL, I'm concerned about the other NAL teams and being support them too, because they're winning and we're winning. It's not. So that's important. So to wrap that down is, when you bring the elements of a great league, a great ownership group, and great coaches, you have a lot of attraction nationally of arena players. So we have players that are professional players. Most have been in D1 college. Sure. That may be looking to go into the NFL and need tape, or they've been in the NFL. We've got some previous NFL. There's a local guy, Tank, that played in the NFL. That's going to be playing with us. Was an Evangel product.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of influence of a lot of local players, but we have a lot of national players that'll be traveling in from as far as Utah, Chicago, Florida, to come to Shreveport to stay here for 15 weeks and to play for the Rouxgaroux.
Wow.
Because it could be that they have future intentions to go to the UFL, the NFL, or they're just wanting to play because they're in a competitive piece in their life.
Absolutely.
But they want to continue playing.
Sure.
So we had 2 separate tryouts. One of our wonderful sponsors, D1 Athletics, helped us with our tryouts. We had 2 local tryouts. The last one, which was about 4 weeks ago, we had 48 kids come out, men. And these men are from the age of 20 to 35.
Wow.
And, I think we took 18 from that tryout to camp. Wow. So it's a lot of local support and a lot of men that want to play in arena football.
Absolutely. Which brings me to my next question. With all of your pregame things, national anthem and things, will you be using any local talent for things like that? How does that work?
So number one, we're blessed to have talent across the board.
Absolutely.
What we were really blessed at, and people that have heard our story, our owner group went to Hirsch and found Scott Musket, and he was on a forklift, and he's the general manager and is part of the ownership group that runs the Mud Bugs. So we basically have partnered with the Mud Bugs and the ownership group that all of our game day operations is going to be handled from the same team that does the Mud Bugs. And if you've been to a Shreveport Mud Bugs, it is an absolutely great time.
Yes.
From their ownership group, from their coaches, to Paige, who does their game day ops, to all of their production crew and everything, they're also coming over to us. The play-by-play guy is coming over for us. So it is a turnkey management for us. So we're stepping into the Hirsch, and Paige, one of our owner coaches, is going to be running our game day ops.
Yes.
One of our owner coaches is running football operations.
Yes.
So this is an organically grown product that we are bringing local talent in. So we have videographers coming in, we have social media influencers, and we have people that we want to bring in locally. Love to have someone different every time for the national anthem. To have we have our dance team.
Wow.
We have all these organically grown from our local area talent that's going to be here to support the Rouxgaroux in the city of Shreveport.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing for our city. You definitely want to make sure that you're going to catch one, if not several, of Team Rouxgaroux games. So there's so much that you have going on. You've got tailgate parties, different things that you're doing leading up to the games, all of that. How is the cost, or is it cost effective for large families? Tell us about that, because there may be somebody watching and say, hey, I've got a lot of kids, I've got a lot of family members. How can I get everybody to this game?
So that was what was important to me as, a product of Shreveport, and knowing that things outprice themselves.
Sure.
So our goal is to be cost effective.
Sure.
Fortunately for myself and my other partners, we're not making our living with the Rouxgaroux.
Absolutely.
Right? And our players are not making their living with the Rouxgaroux.
Sure.
So we've gone out and we've sold season tickets.
Sure.
We've gone out and got corporate partners and sponsors, and they get marketing and partners with us, and we use that money to generate activities for the community, and we're able to give back.
Sure.
So this is not something. I wish we had a budget like the NFL.
Yeah.
We do not. We're not Jerry Jones, and this is not the NFL. But we are. We made a promise very early on that we were going to give back. Just today, we just gave 40 tickets to the Salvation Army for their Boys and Girls program, for their after-school program, to get our first game February 21st, to get 40 of the inner city children that don't have the opportunity to get them to the Rouxgaroux game.
Absolutely.
And even their parents, their guardians, bring a friend, and they're going to be chaperoned by the Salvation Army staff. So we're excited about that. Single season tickets are on sale. We are $22 for gold tickets, $28 for maroon tickets, and $34 a piece for the platinum. That is on the sideline tickets.
Wow.
So the goal was a family for less than $100. A family of 4 could come, park for free, come to the Hirsch. Safe environment, we'll get to that in a minute, with the City of Shreveport. A safe environment, get into the game, have 4 wonderful seats, everyone get Coke and popcorn for less than $100. Wow. So that's where our goal is, and that's what we want to do to give back to the city.
Absolutely.
So we're not talking, not a dig on movie theaters,
Yeah,
but it's cheaper to come to a Rouxgaroux game than it is to go see a movie.
Wow. And that's important.
It is.
And we appreciate you all for doing that. So for those of you that are watching, you're hearing this information. The next question is, because I know you're wondering, where do they go and get tickets?
So everything is going to be on our website.
Okay.
Of course, with our digital media, with our marketing, we have podcasts, we have YouTube channels, we have Tikigrams and Facebooks and all those social media things.
Sure.
But one place you can go to see our schedule, our theme nights, see our roster, see the stats on our players, to see our video and our podcast, and also which we actually, I want to give some back to our corporate partners. Sure. We're going to have our logos there. Trade with our corporate partners.
Absolutely.
Go and tell them that you saw them on the Rouxgaroux website.
Absolutely.
But it's Go Rouxgaroux.
Okay.
GEAUX Rouxgaroux.com.
Wow.
And GoRouxgaroux.com, you can buy tickets there. You're going to be able to see our events. You're going to see details on our tailgate. You're going to see our roster. We're going to be having events out in the community. Tonight we have a coaches show every Wednesday night at Flying Heart in Bossier.
Yes.
Our team is going to be working out at D1 and the indoor soccer facility on American Way. When the Mudbugs conclude their season, we're actually going to be leaving the turf at Hirsch. And we're going to be having afternoon programs and Saturday programs, and we're actually going to, our players are mentoring and coaching kids.
Wow.
And we're going to be able to have available for maybe a Saturday flag football game with the Shreveport Police versus Shreveport Fire. I'm just going to throw it out there. I mean, I'm ready to have something like that happen. So to give those events back to the city and to our region is very important for us.
Absolutely. This information was so needed, so important and exciting for us, especially for those that are football heads and want to continue football after football life, right? And then a family-oriented event that families can go to and enjoy. This is a great opportunity for all families. Any last-minute things you'd like to share as relates to the team? Because I already know when you finish watching this, you're going straight to the website, right? So you can start purchasing your ticket and your family's ticket.
And a couple of things. We've got 7 home games.
Okay.
February, March, April, May. And we will be. I've got a player with me today, and Coach Hampton has promised me we're going to be in the playoffs. Playoffs will be in June.
Okay.
We're going to host that here in Shreveport.
Wonderful.
If we make it through the playoffs, the national championship, and I've been telling these other teams, comes through Shreveport. So we need Shreveport to show up.
Absolutely.
We need everyone, and we've talked about this, Corey. Everyone says, well, we'll see if it works.
Yes.
Well, all the people, the naysayers,
yes.
all those people that are waiting to see if it works, it's going to work.
It's going to work.
And we're keeping receipts.
Okay.
We want to be sure that everyone is involved now.
Sure.
Because it only works when everyone gets behind it.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
When we presented this to the city, within an hour, Mayor Arsenault was like, come to my office.
Wow.
The city council, the fire department, the police department, they've ensured that this is going to be just as safe as any other event we've ever had. The Independence Bowl, these guys are doing, have done a great job with Independence Bowl, took without a hitch. The state fair, so perfect, right? We were out there for 2 weeks with our booth. It was perfect. The city of Shreveport knows we can come together and to produce something that is safe, that's family fun, and we are actually going to be providing it. We just need you to step up and buy tickets, come out and support it. It's not a lot. Just give us that like.
Absolutely.
Give us that Facebook share.
Absolutely.
Get on your TikTok and share what's going on, because we want everybody to be involved. Last thing I'll say is we were announced that we're going to have our theme nights.
Sure.
So we're going to have Mardi Gras nights, our first one. And then the reigning national champions are coming for our first regular season home game, March 8th.
Wow.
And we are going to have a whiteout night.
Okay.
Our white jerseys. We're going to have cancer awareness. We're going to have military night. We're going to have a Star Wars night.
Wow.
We're going to have superhero night, which was really popular. We didn't know, but dress up as a superhero. And then one that's dear to being a paramedic for 32 years. Sure. We're going to have guns and hoses for police, fire, and I'm going to call it, and medical kits. So we're going to be bringing police, fire, and EMS night, and really reach out to Shreveport, Bossier, all the surrounding fire departments, police departments, Ballantyne, Acadian, Pafford. They're bringing a bunch of really cool stuff for us. So you're going to find in the next 4 months, the place to be is at the Rouxgaroux home games at Hearst Coliseum.
There you have it. You've got the information. The vision has been casted. The plan has been laid out. Now you've got to do what you need to do to make sure you're in the house on Saturdays for these home games here at the Hearst Coliseum. Again, we had this opportunity to sit down with Mr. Keith Carter, Team Rouxgaroux. In fact, we're going to say it, GoRouxgaroux.com. Right? Go to the website, get your tickets, get all the information you need. And again, we appreciate you for watching this episode, the I Love Shreveport podcast. Don't forget to stay connected with us on all of our social media platforms. All right? Do that for us. And again, have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you at the Rouxgaroux.